Hello my gorgeous peopleini, my name is Sasha Bonasin and I'm a psychic medium, and these are your weekly horoscope tarot card readings, and they are for the water signs of Zodiac, which are Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces. So this weekly horoscope tarot card forecast is for the water signs of Zodiac, which are Cancerini, Scorpioni and Piscilini, and it's in between the 7th and the 13th of February 2022. And I'm going to start with my gorgeous Cancerini, my gorgeous Cancer. You are just really going to have such an important moment here, seriously, at the beginning of this week. An important moment that you are going to have. It's all about you, like really pretty much so realizing that the specific aspect of your life, it's coming to an end. But it's not only about, a specific aspect, a specific part of your life, it came to an end. It's about you realizing exactly that you will not want to be longer the part of the certain thing that you were. So this is what you need to pretty much so have. You need to have your eyes open towards this, because this is very important. You will know which aspect of your life this is, because you will not want to be part of something that you were part of before. That in itself is just going to start changing things for you so much, and it's going to surprise you. It's going to start with an element of surprise, like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm feeling like this. Well, my babies, this is what's an important moment here. This is the sign of your own spiritual growth. So you will realize that you really want to move on with your life, and that in itself is going to be an important aspect, an important part, that it's also going to inspire you like so much, because it's almost that this energy is going to be, negative energy is going to be shifted within the next couple of days after that moment in time, as soon as you realize what this is. So it's all about your spiritual growth. It's all about your personal growth, that is going to reflect on your life in general, but it's also going to reflect on your own inspiration, on your finances, on your future planning. This is part of a very, very big and rather enormous picture indeed. It's like a couple of days after that moment, and this is going to bring you like really great hopeful, couple of days after that, you will see that the things are going to start unfolding in a very interesting way. Something is going to come out of the blue to you, some kind of idea, and that in itself is also going to be very, very interesting, because it's going to reveal the certain goal that you should most certainly that you most certainly need to kind of keep your eyes on, because this is the very much so essence, an important essence that is going to keep you going. What that goal is, this is going to become absolutely obvious by the midweek whatsoever. This is going to bring you pretty much so, it's going to inspire you, it's going to revive you, it's going to rejuvenate you in so many different ways, because this is all the beginning of your own transformation. So this doesn't surprise me whatsoever, because at the beginning of this week it starts with number 7 and it's finished with number 13. In your particular case, this means that you are going to have a kind of such an important sign, my gorgeous Cancerini, such an important sign you're going to have. And at around the time when you have this sign, it's going to be number 777, 77 or 1313. Any combinations of these numbers, you need to know that very soon after that moment in time, something is going to be, when you become aware of these numbers, something is going to be revealed to you. It's all going to lead towards this important revelation, and it's all about confirming this hopeful outlook and very much so favorable expectations that are just pretty much so going to be connected to the actual new alliances in your life. It's going to be connected to like kind of new opportunities. It's also going to kind of like be connected to a very specific part of your life where you pretty much sort of blaming yourself for something, and it's connected to like some kind of unfinished business that is most certainly going to become absolutely obvious. What this unfinished business is, you will become aware of it. Trust me, this is important, because there will be the time at around the midweek when you're going to feel very strongly like connection with your past. But that connection with your past, it's important to remember, like when you feel connection with the past, what do you think about? What do you feel when you think about the past? Which aspect of your life you keep on thinking about? It's about exactly what you're thinking about. There is something for there, some kind of key, something that you need to take and bring back here. But also at the same time, when you're thinking about the past, there is which people are around. There is one specific person that has got an absolutely mind-blowing message for you, and that is also going to happen through the power of the actual synchronicity. So first of all, you're going to be thinking about the past, past, about a certain people, about a specific situation, but then along the way, you're also gonna kind of like that specific person that you were kind of connected to in the past as well. They're just gonna come out of the blue and they're gonna tell you something. What they're gonna tell you, it's going to surprise you, but it's going to bring you a much needed message, and that message is going to help you to get the perspective, because it's coming from someone who knows you really well, but also it's coming from someone who is about to give you like an information that you didn't know, which if you heard from someone else, you kind of wouldn't even believe this, but because it's coming from this particular person, this is going to mean the world of absolutely everything to you, and you will see exactly what I mean. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Cancerini, it is all about you actually. This is the pretty much, so you're gonna need to make a very important decision, and that decision, my God, is just to do with the last 23 months. You know, within the last 23 months, this is a very strong connection with things that you feel so unhappy about, and the things that slowed you down, and the things that just don't make sense to you, and the things like that just made things so dark around you in such a way where it just like kind of sucks out your energy when it comes to your own optimism, because kind of like before you know, you would just kind of like keep going and keep moving forward, but now you're just like kind of realizing all sorts of blockages that you can't move on with your life, but it's nothing to do with you personally. So this is what this decision is going to be about. It's very important to stay true to yourself. This is the way to ground yourself, but also it's very important to respond in the way that you want to respond. You have to come back home to yourself. You have to realize the essence of your own power, and you also need to realize, and this is exactly where you're going to realize how much you actually know. You will remember so much, my God, at around the midweek. You're also going to remember quite a lot when it comes to your past lives and things like that, and this is only going to make your energy more powerful. This is only going to make things more crystal clear to you, even without realizing what exactly you are doing, what exactly the next step is going to be, because there is a lot that you're going to start planning, but then again, it's all down to you, and it's all down to your kind of following your intuition and staying true to yourself. So it's a very important decision that you're going to be thinking about, that you're going to make, my gorgeous Cancerini, and I hope you understand me. This is very important indeed. This decision needs to come from you, and only you, because that only then this is going to become something so big, something so important. So when you're asked something at around the midweek, this is what's going to happen. You will be asked certain question, or you're going to find yourself on a certain path where something is really much so going to be expected from you, you know, but you will not want to do this because it just doesn't make sense to you. So this is something that you really need to remember, and at the same time the importance of staying true to yourself, you know, no matter what. On another hand, you know, as long as you do this, you know, you make this decision, this is gonna be an absolutely such a powerful moment in time when it comes to your personal breakthrough. This is going to lead towards your personal breakthrough, my gorgeous Cancerinis. This is so important. But at the same time, you know, you will see something that you didn't see before. You will like kind of like, oh my God, you're going to feel this inspiration. And then although you're not going to understand how you're going to get where you want to get in life, but then your own spirit, your own soul is going to be guiding you. And as more you give a credit to yourself and to your own spirit by doing those things that are inspiring you, the more kind of like the more strong you are going to feel, and the more solid you are going to feel with things that you are doing, with things that you are focusing on, and it's going to help you to kind of like unstuck yourself from the people and from the situations that have been draining your energy. You really need to move on from that. You need to see what that is, and you simply need to move away from it, because you have been following something, you have been watching something, maybe you've been listening to something that has just been draining your energy. So now this is the time to turn the new page. This is the time to turn the new leaf over, because by the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Cancerini, it is all about, you know, you had so much on your back. my God, you have carrying so much, and this affected you, and you're very strong, you're very powerful. You just keep going and keep going and keep going, and I really like this about you. But there is only so much that we can actually take. There is only so much that we can do. There is only so much that we can focus on that we shouldn't be focusing on, like purely because it doesn't make sense to you anymore. So something is just not going to make sense to you. And this is why this is so important, my gorgeous Cancerini, because it is just going to help you to go on the next stage of your life. And also, by the time, you get to the last part of this week, it's all about the actual very, very unusual and unexpected situation. It's actually going to happen. Something is going to surprise you. You are, no matter what you think, my gorgeous Cancerini, at the end of this week, you are going to find yourself somewhere that you did not plan whatsoever. So you will find yourself in an element, you will find yourself in a dimension, you're going to find yourself in an area, you're going to find yourself somewhere, where you did not think that you're going to be. Something is going to happen completely unplanned, which means prior, you're going to be requested, you're going to be asked to go somewhere, or you're just going to feel like this urge to go somewhere and be somewhere. And then it's not only about an unknown situation, an unknown dimension, but it's actually what is going to happen. Something is just going to happen out of the blue. And you're going to respond to this like without even realizing how important this actually is. And what I find very interesting here, that you're going to respond like very quickly, very sharp, very quick, sharp, and normally it would take you ages to respond to this, but the power of your subconscious mind, which is actually the right thing, is going to take over. And this is where almost immediately there is going to be an important idea that you are going to have. On one hand, you will know, oh my God, that idea that I'm going to have is just also, it's bringing you the conclusion to the problem, that was really kind of draining you so much. And that idea, it's also kind of going to, you need to understand that when it comes to that idea, it's just basically you need to be patient. It's about the patience, and it's about the balance, and it's about the realizing and understanding that the greatest, the best, huge things in life, they take time, but not always. Sometimes at the beginning, it's just a little bit of a tricky bit in moments in time. Sometimes at the beginning, when these wonderful things happen, we feel very strong connection to kind of do something, but it can put us off very kind of easily. Oh no, it's going to take too long. Sometimes this is just a little trick, a little spiritual trick, and it's all part of our challenge. It's all part of our journey, where we kind of need to jump into an unknown with a full kind of like a strength and power, knowingly, and then because you're just following that vibration, and you're following that energy, and you're following those things that are inspiring you, and then along the line you will see, oh my God, something later on it's going to happen, and you will see how quickly things are actually going to unfold for you. So do not let something put you off, like when it comes to longevity, oh, it's going to take too long. No, baby, no. This is all part of the balance. And on another hand, what else I was going to say is just remember that the last part of this week, I really like it. It's about your own transformation very strongly. But also on another hand, you've carried so much, what I was saying before, you carried so much on your back, and things became very difficult, and these things became very heavy for you, and it just doesn't make sense anymore. So as I said before, sometimes, it's like when things don't make sense, it's up to us to kind of remove ourselves and to change our path. So on one hand, very kind of specific situation that was like, you felt like you had so much on your back and it was very difficult. Thank Lord, it's slowly, these are blessings coming in, and this is slowly but surely coming to an end. So this is marking an end of a very difficult stage and a very difficult period. So this is what I need you to kind of realize, that at the same time when the certain things come to an end, there is also a very special beginning. But before the very special beginning starts, it's always like a bit of a challenging situation, and the answer to that challenging situation is just keep moving forward, keep going forward, and do only those things that make sense to you, my gorgeous Cancerinis, indeed, because you're in for something really big, you're in for something really good. And the more you stick to this path, and the more you do this, the more you're gonna come out of the stage and the period that no longer serves you whatsoever. Okay, so the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous, my ever so precious Scorpio, my gorgeous Scorpione, it is your time. Listen to this, how important this is actually going to be. The beginning of the week, you're just going to find yourself like a feeling just like a little bit unsatisfied, with your life, purely because you will be focusing on something very specific, and you will be thinking, oh yeah, that you have been kind of wasting your energy. You will be thinking that your energy was kind of drained, and that is going to confuse you in itself. But let me tell you that this is actually going to be an important moment in time, because while you're thinking about it, something pretty much so that was missing in your life, it's going to become a delicious part of your own existence that is just going to be screaming for you to explore, to explore, to explore. The specific part of your life, it's going to reveal itself to you through this situation, because you're going to find yourself being unsatisfied with a certain aspect of your life, and that is also going to be your sign. That is also going to be a message. That is also going to be a sacred information that there is going to be a very kind of like an important inspiration that is actually going to come out of it, slowly but surely. It's going to happen at around the time when you get a very specific message, very unique message, and very unusual message that is going to come to you through the power of synchronicity. You need to pay attention to the number 777 and 1313, and because these numbers are playing an important role when it comes to this week. We are dealing with a rather sacred numbers, and they're going to affect every single sign of zodiac. But when it comes to you, you are going to have a pretty much so, as soon as you see these numbers, you are pretty much so, after that moment in time, there is going to be a revelation that you are going to have. The revelation that you're going to have, it's nothing to do with you, nothing to do with your life personally, but then again, it's going to mean to you so much, because at the end of the day, there is going to be the specific answer that you are going to get out of it. It's like almost going to be your direct answer to your problems, to what you were thinking about, where you are stuck, but also direct answer when it comes to you being brave and carrying on, living your life the way you want to live your life, expressing yourself the way you want to express yourself, and it's just all about the idea that is going to come through to you. And a very, very interesting idea is going to be absolutely obvious at around the midweek, my gorgeous Scorpione. And that idea, it's going to, oh gosh, it's going to help you realize how much you actually spiritually grew in the last 36 months. How much do you understand now? How much did you realize now? And this is almost going to become like the whole book that it's about to open here for you. The whole book is about to open for you, my gorgeous Scorpione. But there is something that is just not going to make sense to you anymore. So it's going to reveal also at the same time the discontinuation. Something is coming to an end, in your life. And this is important for you to realize. And you're going to be surprised, suddenly you're just going to feel very much so uneasy with a certain aspect of your life, and it's pretty much so connected to things that you have been looking at, things that you have been listening to, maybe the wrong little informations that you have been like kind of around, and this just drains so much of your energy. But you only need a week, you're going to become aware of what this is and how much energy actually this drained, and how important it is for you to really cut that out of your life. Remove yourself from people who don't make sense. Remove yourself from people who are kind of like so far apart from you, because you're also going to become aware of the certain people in your life that change so much, and you're going to feel like, oh my god, like these people just change so much that you have your sacred knowledge, and that your knowledge is sacred. What you know is like really important to you, but also to these people, what they know, it's very important to them. So this is where the problem is. So now you're just going to end up, you're draining your energy. So you need to understand that the people are different, and also most importantly, you need to understand that it's like kind of time to just basically protect your energy a little bit, as much as you possibly can, my gorgeous Scorpioni, but also on another hand, it's about what came to an end. And specifically the last 9 months, you know, you have been kind of like affected by this so much, because it was affecting your way of thinking and way of planning. Almost as if somebody like was controlling your way of thinking and controlling your way of planning, and now you just realize your own power. Now you just realize how powerful you are, and now you're going to realize how, I'm not saying that you didn't realize before, but you're going to realize the essence of your own uniqueness and things that come to you as a sense of as a source of inspiration. I mean, how strong our life becomes when we give our, you know, credit to ourselves. So this is along the lines that I'm talking about. So this in itself is going to reveal the part of your life that came to an end, but on one hand it's going to surprise you how strongly you're going to feel, but then on another hand this is kind of going to put you in a little bit of like a hermit mode, in a little bit of a thinking mode, you know, when you're going to kind of go through your own enlightenment, and while you're going through your own enlightenment, you know, there's going to be even more that you're going to become aware of. And while you're in this hermit mode, you know, you will just want to be by yourself a little bit, you will want to be on your own, you're going to feel like you want to do something very unique. But while you're at it, you know, it's also going to come to you exactly like how strongly you will not want to repeat certain things that you have been through over the last 36 to 46 months. You will not want to repeat them whatsoever. And while you are having this hermit moment, this is going to be highlighted. This is going to come out. This is going to come on top, because you're still going to be like kind of denial. You're going to be thinking, shall I go off to do the next step or not? Should I do this or not? You're still going to be in denial. And then the hermit mode is just going to answer to you so much, because something is going to become obvious. So even if you're still struggling, like you're going to find yourself half here, you know, you're really going to like kind of like a doubting certain situation, and you're going to doubt it out, and that is going to be affecting your you know, your path in front, your path ahead. But then the hermit mode is just going to nicely step in, and it's going to pretty much going to remind you it's going to be bringing you like kind of into a little bit of darkness and negativity and sadness that you've been through. This is important to feel and to go through just once again, just for a second or two, to remind you of this vibration. And this is exactly what is going to happen. You will not want to go through something because it caused you so much stress, so much negativity, so much uncertainty, and you have found yourself on the path doing things that absolutely don't make sense, you know, whatsoever. And you're Scorpioni, you don't like that. So this is the time when your sacred vibration is going to take over, which is, again, by the time you get to the end of the week, you know, you will hear something like so kind of weird. You will hear something so, the specific information that you're gonna hear is nothing to do with your life. It's nothing to do with you personally, but you're gonna become aware of the information at the end of the week, and it's just gonna be like, oh my God, like you're just not gonna believe it. And it's just like what certain people are capable of, what some certain person is capable of, or certain group of people capable of. Very devilish energy in so many different ways, because you will become aware of somebody being so dark and negative and nasty towards somebody else. This is going to become obvious. And you're not going to like it, because you're going to feel this. You will know that this is not right. You will know that this is weird. You will know that this is bizarre. And at the same time, you're going to realize how much people actually changed. And you're going to wonder how people changed like this. How people acting really weird and strange. And I repeat, this is nothing to do with your personal situation, but it's, my Lord, it's to do with your life, really, your whole life. Because it's all down to you. Realizing that you are the one who needs to be the one who is making your own decisions. So this is all pretty much so you realizing what certain group of people or certain person did to somebody else, and you will not like this, because you will recognize something very negative in here, very dark, very evilish, you know. I'm sorry I'm being like a dark lala this reading, but this is important when it comes to your own existence. This is part of the really big picture, but most importantly, it's going to be playing an important big mama role when it comes to you moving on with your life by the end of the week. Pay attention to that inspiration, because it's always going to be keep on popping in and out. Inspiration. It's to do with who you are. It's to do with your life. is to do with a sacred element in your life. Your inspiration is your power. Your inspiration is going to be keep on popping in and out throughout this week. Get hold of it and grab it while you can. It's important. I'm not saying you're not going to be able to grab it later, but now this week is sacred when it comes to its actual numbers. So this is why it's the time of like a spiritual transformation that you will be going through, that we will all be going through. So make the most of it. When we are going through spiritual transformation, it's very easy to pick up on the negative things. You know, at the same time, they can be as powerful because we are so open and we absorb so much. We become big mamas. You know, we absorb so much indeed. So this is why it's important to stay on top of things and just keep on grabbing hold of these little inspirations that you're going to have, because they're going to be talking to you. They're going to be communicating you, you know, like very much so in a very specific way. And on another hand, you know, that is going to be playing such a huge role, what you're going to become aware of, because that it's going to give you the power to see things from a completely different angle. You will just like enter the whole new world. You're just going to enter the whole new dimension. It's not that you didn't see things before, but it's about this confirmation. It's about this devilish energy. It's about this darkness that you will not want to be part of whatsoever. You do not listen to darkness. You do not follow the darkness. I know that there is no darkness without light. There is no light without darkness. Yes, I know. But this type of darkness is like not really good. This type of darkness is just like a little bit evil. And this is all going to be obvious to you. And it's going to play a very specific, mind-blowing, upside-down role. Plop, plop. You are going to be able to see things from a completely different angle, upside down. That is going to really enhance your power, and it's going to give you confidence to make a really important decision. It's about a readjustment of your life that you will want to make, that you will want to do, that you will want to start. But at the same time, it's going to come with a little sacrifice. And the sacrifice is the fact that you really have to stay true to yourself and strictly only 1001% follow those things that come to you. Follow your intuition. This readjustment is the direct result of you following your intuition, and at some moment in the past you responded to the certain situation in your own way. So this is why this is bouncing back and it's rewarding you. So it's going to require from you to keep going further, keep going forward, and make a readjustment in your life. It doesn't have to be made right now, but it's all going to become obvious. You will know what exact readjustment this is, but it's going to require from you to be strong, to keep going further, to keep going forward, stay true to yourself, and, you know, just follow your own light, you know, follow your own inspiration. You will not want to be around the negative and dark energy, and this most certainly is going to be your way out. Okay, so now the next sign that I'm going to be talking about is going to be my gorgeous Pisces. My gorgeous Pisces, this is the weekly reading in between the 7th and the 13th of February 2022. My God, this week is really going to affect you, and this week is really going to mean to you so much. It's the return of something very special, you know, and on one hand, there is going to be a little bit of a blast from the past, you know, somebody who hasn't been in your life for a while is just going to become a part of your life. Not necessarily the direct message that you are going to get, but you're going to find yourself in an element around a person who was in your life very often. So it's just maybe you will be reading something, and then suddenly through the power of the actual synchronicity, you're just reading this person's message. Maybe you're going to be thinking about something, and then suddenly this person just pops into your life. This person who just comes to you just out of the blue. Maybe you're going to read a message and you see this, you know, just by you looking at that message, just by you thinking about that person, just by you creating that connection with that person, you're already halfway there. is the right person, it's an important person in your life, and just your own strong vibration by focusing on that a person, it's going to create this energy of the realization, the energy where you're gonna open your eyes, because through that person you're going to get an important answer, but also you're gonna get an inspiration, and you will see what you didn't see before. On one hand, absolutely mind-blowing confirmation, but it's more about seeing something that you didn't see before, and that in itself is just gonna, it's not going to be that long after that moment in time when you're going to actually get a message, very kind of like a powerful message. And before you get that powerful message, pay attention to the numbers 777, 1313, 111 and 333. All these numbers are going to be playing an important role in terms of synchronicity. So when you become, even if you don't become aware of these numbers, doesn't matter, but you are going to. These numbers, when you become aware of them, when you see them on your watch, when you see them online, if you see it somewhere on a social network, or however you come across, you will know that there is a very, very important message going to come up. And even if you don't see these numbers, even if you're not aware of these numbers, but you are going to be, you're still going to get this important message, that the message is gonna pretty much confirm to you. It's going to be good message, optimistic message. It's going to make you feel so good about yourself, and finally you're going to see like, oh, thank God, things are moving on. And then when you get that message and when you see things are moving on, then you will know you will know exactly what the next step is going to be and what are you going to do, because it's all about the optimism and inspiration, but it's also something that's going to be revealed to you, what's happening right now in your life, but not necessarily connected to your life, but that in itself, it's also gonna give you that push, that final push, that it's rather so important in this moment in time, my gorgeous Pisces. So this is something that you really need to remember, because it's about the next step, but also things moving on with your life, but also not kind of like you will just not want to make the same some kind of, you will not want to, not necessarily mistake, but you will not want to live your life in the way that you lived your life so far. But it's pretty much so going to reflect on the stage and the period within the last 46 months, very, very slowly, very strongly within the last 46 to 48 months, really what was happening in your life and the things that have been around, the energy that was created. You will just want to go away from it, and this is the answer to actually do this. It is going to kind of make you feel really worried, like how you're going to get to the certain stage and certain point in your life, but then again at the same time, you just have to like kind of be just at the moment, kind of be a little bit careful to who you talk to, who you open up to. And because I have to say to you again, this is important, because it's that way how it is at the moment. You are going to have a few people around you who are maybe not as spiritually able to understand so much that you are spiritually able to understand. So there are going to be so many people, like quite few people around you, who are going to have a completely different opinions to you, and try to understand that there is no point to waste your energy whatsoever, especially with the people who don't mean anything to you, especially with the people who don't mean much to you. Absolutely do not try to even kind of waste your energy whatsoever. So this is something that I need to kind of make you prepared, and the more you kind of like don't allow people to know what you really think about certain things in your life, the more powerful you are going to be, because this energy is for you to preserve, and this energy is for you to kind of like really kind of keep within, because otherwise you just come out, you say something, and then this other person or other people say something else, and then it's such a clash in between you two, and it's absolutely no, baby, no. It's a bit of a time wasting, in so many different ways. But on another hand, I can see that you're going to be quite worried about the financial situation a little bit. So I would like pretty much be very careful with the finances when it comes to this week, quite careful when it comes to like spending this week and things like that. If you think that you shouldn't get something, then don't get it. But then at the same time, it's just, this is important when we need to pay attention to our finances. At the same time, it's very kind of like a powerful vibration when it comes to planning. and I need you to realize that at around the mid week, my gorgeous Pisceline is just something is just like completely going to come to you just completely out of the blue, completely out of the blue. You're going to have a very strong feeling, very strong emotions for some kind of path that you have left behind, just out of the blue. You will not be able to understand this, you will not be able to explain this, and you will not be able to even like kind of communicate about it, how strongly you're going to feel. So the specific path, you know, specific part of yourself, is specific part of your path that you've kind of left behind. And I know it sounds a specific part of my past that I left behind. Yeah, I know it sounds a bit, but yet you know what? It's something that you're not doing. And this is so important to you. This is so sacred to you. This is something that you used to do, that you used to enjoy yourself while you were doing this. It's a very sacred part of you. What is this that you left in the past that you're not doing? What is this? This is so, so, so important. It's an integral part of who you are. It's an integral part of a spiritual journey. It makes you feel so much better while you're doing this. It's making you feel so much better while this is part of your life. But for some reason you thought, oh yeah, maybe I became older and that doesn't mean to me anymore. Maybe I grew so much and that doesn't mean to me anymore. Maybe, oh, I'm not interested into that part of my life anymore. No, baby, no. This is important because this is so strongly connected to many, many lives that you lived. It's strongly connected to your past lives so much that, you know, that's why this feeling, it's going to be so undeniable. You're not going to be able to ignore this until you face this and until you realize that there needs to be the plan how you can bring this into your life. So that is going to make you feel so happy. That is going to change every single aspect of your life without you even realizing, as quick as banana, like as quick like there is no tomorrow, my gorgeous Pisceline. So this is important. So I will tell you that at around the midweek, suddenly, just out of the blue, you know, you will just feel these emotions, you know, and this is going to almost instantly increase your vibration, something that you have been doing and you left behind and it made you feel so much happier. Now you've changed, some time has passed, and now when you've changed, now this changed with you as well. There is so much that you know more that you didn't know before, and every single aspect of you changed in the best possible way. You became much wiser, you became much more kind of smarter, you became more clever. I'm not saying that you weren't clever before, but you will know exactly what I mean, because this is all going to contributing towards you realizing that this is what is missing in your life. It's going to become absolutely obvious. This is not only going to really and also just let me just tell you, just one morning you're just going to wake up in the morning and it's going to become obvious, or you're just going to be like having like a bit of a hermit moment and then it's going to come to you, or it could be like the idea that you will have that is going to inspire you, and then suddenly it's going to be very strong connection with the past. Oh, I used to do this, and then you see, it's going to come on top what's actually missing. And very interesting letter or a message, or letter nowadays, very interesting message you're actually going to have. It could be letter, and that message that you are going to have, it could be letter, it could be message in any form really. That message is also pretty much so going to show the certain progress in your life, and that progress, your own progress, is going to inspire you in a form of like, oh, action. And this is all going to be pretty much so connected so much. It's going to reflect on your finances as well, on your financial situation, but it's also at the same time going to help you realize that, you know, why have you been so sad, or maybe negative? Why didn't you live your full life, for example? Why didn't you do things that you maybe wanted to do? What blocked you? What stopped you? This is going to reveal its blockage, you know, and the blockage is going to be absolutely obvious, and it's all going to be pointing towards a certain thing as well, like how much like you were so negative. But it's not only you, but you felt really sad and negative, and because of the uncertainty. There were way too much uncertainty in your life because it affected your way of planning, and then that threw you in a little bit of corner when it comes to feeling disorientated. So you will realize how much actually, a broken heart you've been through so much because you had to kind of stop the certain parts of your life and kind of edit certain parts of your life that you didn't want to edit. So this in itself is going to also start a wonderful, important process of healing. Very much so indeed, because you have been through so much, and this in itself is about to start a process of healing. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Pisces, is pretty much so about the actual motivation. Someone very successful is also going to be playing an important role when it comes to you feeling motivated. I really like it because, at the same time, these people are meant to be in our lives, but also these people help us, to actually keep your eyes, on your goals. Just remember the last part of this week, my gorgeous Pisces, please remember to keep your eyes on your goals, okay? And enjoy every single moment, because you are going to have a sacred courage. You are going to feel very excited, and for the first time after a long time, you will be able to feel this free spirit energy. And this free spirit energy is also going to help you to love your life again, but also on another hand, it's going to connect you and reconnect you with very important people in your life that you should be connected to. It's going to bring you enthusiasm, but through your own enthusiasm there is also going to be the mind-blowing discovery as well. Just remember, my gorgeous Pisces, at the end of this week, through your own enthusiasm, you're also going to have a mind-blowing discovery of your life. And that discovery is pretty much so going to open your eyes, and it's going to push you towards the path where you just simply know to take actions on your ideas, because life is most certainly moving forward. Okay, my gorgeous people, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.